Hello, my love, and welcome back to the Energy Expansion Podcast. Today, we are going to be diving deep into a conversation that I cannot stop having. We're going to be talking about something that I literally cannot stop talking about. It is not brand new to the podcast, but it feels fitting because I've been getting an influx of questions about this. And the thing that I'm referring to is an NLP, which stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming, an NLP Breakthrough Day. And now, if you've been with us for several months, then you probably had a chance to listen to episode 45. This was released back in November, at the end of November, and the title of it is The Breakthrough Day That Changed My Life, Releasing Shame and Unlocking True Freedom. So just as a little recap, I am going through now for the second time a master practitioner certification. And there are countless certifications that exist out there. I personally have many of them. And there's also a lot of certifications that I don't have, that I have such deep respect and reverence for. And I love paying other coaches and healers and mentors for their gifts and their services, their skills, the things that they've mastered. And so when I say I'm going through for the second time a master practitioner certification, the things that I am becoming a master practitioner of is first and foremost NLP, again, neuro-linguistic programming, emotional freedom technique, time techniques. Time is an acronym. It's TIME. I know that time is its own word, but it's an acronym in the healing space for time integration for maximum empowerment. This is such a powerful tool that it's actually its own form of therapy. There are licensed, trained therapists who specialize in time therapy. Now, I am not a licensed therapist. However, I am certified and trained in using time techniques in various ways to help someone work with something that's happened in the past. We can work with time techniques to help you release limiting beliefs or stories that are negatively impacting your results, your current reality, your overall quality of life. So anything that's limiting you in terms of beliefs, patterns, stories, we can use time techniques to help you release heavy or quote unquote, I don't like to label things as good or bad, positive or negative. However, there are certain emotions such as the ones we clear during a breakthrough day is anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt. And then in my case, we needed to go a layer deeper and we needed to release shame. That had a strong hold on me. And now what's interesting about those various emotions is if you know anything about the energetic scale of consciousness. Shout out if you've been through any DKC programs ever, because this is typically in the welcome module or module 1, maybe module 2. But we very rarely get deep into DKC programs without explaining and demonstrating and showing you and making sure that you deeply understand the energetic scale of consciousness, that you understand the basics of frequency and emotions and the impact that that has. And so I don't want to say that there are good emotions or bad emotions because literally every emotion is communicating something to you. Therefore, in some way, every emotion is a good thing, is a gift. But when we're talking about the energetic and vibrational impact of emotion, we cannot overlook the fact that there are some emotions, shame and guilt are the two lowest vibrating emotions in the human experience, which means they create a sense of heaviness. There is a density that you can physically feel in your body. And if you can't necessarily feel it physically and you're carrying with you a lot of shame and a lot of guilt, then you better believe that the density, the heaviness the sluggishness, the fatigue, the depression. And I'm not here to diagnose anyone, but when I say depression, you may have your own internal felt sense of a heaviness of the body, a heaviness of the mind, a heaviness of the energy field. And so we're not here to shame or to shame guilt. But the fact of the matter is, if you're carrying around a lot of these heavier, more quote unquote negative emotions, it is going to impact the way that you show up. And so being able to clear those types of things, oh my gosh, this is my love for time techniques. For a second, I'm like, how did we get on this tangent? We were talking about time techniques, time integration for maximum empowerment. That's another way that we can use time techniques. We can use time techniques on your past timeline. We can do some really fun manifestation work. Manifestation work doesn't even feel like the right term. It's like more powerful than your run-of-the-mill manifestation journaling prompts that your favorite manifestation guru shares with you on an Instagram carousel, but actually working with implanting specific goals and desires on your timeline, your future timeline, to have them be a done deal. There's also the realm of hypnosis that we're working with. One of the things I'm most excited about is we're completing the breathwork part of this certification, which is taking us into the deeper realms of somatic work, understanding the language of the body. Several years ago, I heard someone refer to the unconscious mind as the body and the body as the unconscious mind. And when I heard that, it felt true for me. Like I felt a resonance. I was like, oh my gosh, of course. Like this makes so much sense. And why does this matter? Because we've talked about it here before. This is neuro-linguistic programming 101. Your unconscious mind creates 95 to 99.999996 of your results, of the life experience, the reality that you're in right now. And so understanding how to work with the subconscious mind, understanding how to rewire and reprogram that is really, truly how we create lasting change. And then when you make the connection that the body is what is the subconscious mind, like that is the driver of all of it, understanding not just how to do the cool mindset work and the reframes and understanding the language of the mind and the power of our thoughts. Like, yes, that's so incredibly important. And we need to understand that and we need to address that. But more than anything, understanding how to work with the body is really the secret sauce of so much of this. That's the other big part of this master practitioner certification that I'm going through. Some of this, I went through it once through a different certification program. And so there's certain like basic foundational pieces of a practitioner certification and then a master prac for short. And so some of this is review, but there are elements with the certification I'm going through right now, which I recommend to so many people. If you want to learn more about it, please reach out to me. I'll get you set up. We'll get you squared away. But the thing that I love about this is this certification program really focuses a lot on the somatics, which we're learning more and more, not just me and the people I'm going through the certification with. We as a spiritual community, people in the healing space, people doing deep energy work are really understanding the impact and the importance of working directly with the body. And so that's one of my favorite things about the certification that I'm going through. But again, coming back to Breakthrough Days, episode 45, the breakthrough day that changed my life. If you want to go back, you can scroll all the way back into the end of last year and you can listen to that. I was so lit up. I was so fired up. I knew from me being on one, I got to be on the receiving end. I got to be coached and held and supported and actually taken through very strategically the flow of the way that a true NLP breakthrough day is designed to be led, the way that it's designed to be facilitated. And the very next day, I got to be on the other side. I got to give. I got to lead. I got to facilitate an NLP breakthrough day. And so getting to be in the seat of the facilitator, the leader, the giver, and then also the receiver, I am honestly kind of at a loss for words, which if you know me well, you know that that doesn't happen very often. So today I want to attempt to bring you into this as much as possible, because if I'm just being so honest with you. All right, love, real quick pause because I have to tell you about something that is truly life-changing. If you've been in my world for any amount of time, then there is a 99.9% chance that you have heard me talk about Energy Expansion Academy, which is my signature group coaching program where I teach the exact tools, rituals, mindset shifts that helped me create a life that goes beyond my wildest dreams and has transformed the lives of hundreds of women that I've had the honor of serving. And for the first time ever, it is now available as a self-paced experience. That means you get to move through this powerful transformation on your own terms, in your own timing, and in full alignment with your life. This is for the woman who's ready to shift her energy, elevate her mindset, and finally become the most confident, fulfilled, and successful version of herself. Without the hustle, without the overwhelm, and without the second guessing. If you've been feeling the nudge to join us inside of EEA, then this, my love, is your sign. You'll find the link in the show notes or just DM me EEA on Instagram and I'll personally send it your way. Now, let's get back to the episode that you came for. This is the only way that I want to coach and support people. And that doesn't mean I'm going to throw my programs into some digital graveyard and never talk about them again, never share them. They're amazing and they're life-changing. How do I know? Because literally hundreds upon hundreds of women have purchased my courses and gone through them. And this doesn't mean that I'm not going to do one-on-one coaching sessions, for 6 months or for a year. I love that. I'm obsessed with the people that I work with. I love my group coaching programs. I'm going to continue to do those. But when you have an experience as powerful, as potent, as real, as transformational as a breakthrough day, and you understand how it works and why it works, it's one of those things where it's like, why would you ever want to do anything else? An NLP breakthrough day is for the person, for the woman who knows, like she knows that she is ready for real lasting change. She is not messing around. Hi, I am that woman. I think I shared this in my original episode, and I mean this so wholeheartedly that I spent a lot of time, over a decade. I spent a lot of money, over 6 figures, on this healing journey and this growth journey. And yes, I'm using these things in the work that I do. And also this journey is for me. And then I get to bring other people along and then I get to share them. And then as I get better, I can help you get better, so on and so forth, where we're rising together is how this works. And so where I'm going with this is on the other side of my breakthrough experience, the massive aha moment was in a one day NLP breakthrough experience, I received what I had been looking for, what I had been seeking all along from day one. And I didn't even know it. I couldn't have even articulated it. I couldn't have put words to it. But when I got to the end of that experience, it was like, oh, this is what all of this has been for. Over a decade of deep inner work and healing and certifications and learning and mastery and sharing and doing the scary, courageous things, well over 6 figures spent. This is what I've been seeking all along. That was my honest, genuine experience of a breakthrough day. And because that was my personal experience, and now this episode feels very different and much more informed than the original one that we did. Again, episode 45, if you want to go listen to it, it's really freaking good. There's not a dang thing wrong with that episode. Go enjoy it. I'm probably going to go back and listen to it and eat up every minute of it. But the thing that's different about this is I have had the opportunity. I feel like I'm going to cry. I'm feeling really emotional. I have had the opportunity to lead 3 more NLP Breakthrough Days in less than the last 30 days. It's probably been, honestly, the last 20 days. I have led 3 of these experiences. I have had 1 more booked as of yesterday, happening later this month, and 2 more people reached out to me yesterday about these experiences. And I think it's a really big deal because there's an energy around this. I'm not like actively talking about these all day, every day. I honestly have done a pretty poor job marketing them for something that I want to go all in on. I take that back, for something that I wholeheartedly plan. This is not just something I kind of sort of want to go all in on. This is something that I am committed to going all in on because of the power of this work. 1, because of the power of this work. 2, because of the kind of woman who I attract into my world. I attract women who are very similar to me. Many women who are not new to the healing journey. Women who are masterful in their own healing arts and what has gotten them to wherever they are in this moment. And they know there's something more. They feel like they're at a crossroads. The same old tools and modalities and journaling prompts, I'm not knocking any of that, but there's a certain kind of woman who she's like, this is just not doing it for me anymore. There is another level of healing available. And I felt that way, and I didn't know that it was this. And now that I've been on the other side of this, again, I've been able to receive my own experience. I've got another one where I get to receive another one later this year on the books with my own coach, the one who teaches all of this. And I've now been on the other side of being able to give, lead, facilitate, hold space for 4 incredible women. And we've got a few more on the books or getting ready to book at this point. There's a whole new level of power and excitement and momentum around all of this. And so all of that being said, I really want to bring you into this, being on the other side of not just hosting and facilitating 4 full NLP Breakthrough Days, but 3 of those have happened in less than the last 30 days. The first thing I want to talk about is why Breakthrough Days are different and what makes them so special. Why do they actually work? And here's why. Breakthrough Days are working at the level of identity. Any kind of lasting change, true transformation must happen first at the level of identity. So it's a really big piece of this. We are also working with your nervous system. Again, coming back to the importance of working with the body, not trying to push through, not trying to rush, not trying to override. If you're anything like me, you've tried to push, you've tried to rush, you've tried to override, and those things don't work. And if it feels like they're working, they don't work well for very long. And it's actually pretty dangerous to try to bypass the nervous system, because that is what leads you to a space of exhaustion, burnout, adrenal fatigue, right? Coming off of the identity work, the nervous system, working with the body, we are also going deep into your unconscious programming, helping you completely transform and shift the way that you relate to the stories, the patterns, the beliefs, the decisions that you've made along the way. Many of the decisions you've made are very likely completely unconscious. Most of the decisions or the beliefs driving the women I work with are, I'm not enough. It's not safe to be seen. I don't trust myself. I don't want to disappoint people. Fear of failure, also fear of success. Those are not things that we consciously choose to pick up and we're like, hey, cool, let me put this in my invisible backpack that I'm going to carry with me everywhere. No, that would be ridiculous. But along the way, there are different coping mechanisms. There are things that we do that we don't even realize we're doing as a way to protect ourselves. And in a moment, yeah, when you were 5 years old, you needed that level of protection. You picked that up for a reason. But now that you're 35, 45, 55, you don't need that anymore, but you're carrying it around and it is negatively impacting you. It is doing more harm than good. We also get to work with your timeline. We get to work with things that have happened in the past, shift, reprogram those, while also doing powerful work with your future timeline. This is very different than some of the basic foundational coaching that you've experienced in the past. I'm a really big fan of mindset work and reframes and strategies and insights. Those are all fantastic. And all of that gets to be woven into our breakthrough day. But there is something about the level of depth that we get to go that I have never experienced outside of a breakthrough day. The other big part of the breakthrough days that make them different from other types of inner work is we're not just talking about what's not working. That's part of it. In order to get what you want, in order to have things work and feel good, I think it's really important that we look at what's not working, what doesn't feel good. But the breakthrough day actually allows us to get at the root of what is going on. Every single breakthrough day, and this also happens in coaching calls too, where a client will come to me and they'll explain something that is happening in their experience and they don't love it. And it's a problem, it's an issue, it's something that's causing stress or pain, whether it's literal or figurative pain. And a lot of times the thing that we think is the problem, yes, we don't like it. We don't want it. I'm not here to invalidate anyone's experience. I have my own fair share of things that I'm always working through. So we're not saying that that's not real. Of course it is. That's your experience and we're going to honor that. And also what I find to be true most of the time is the thing that you think is the problem is not usually the problem. It's something underneath that. And so this was the original reason why 6 or 7 years ago, when I pursued, it wasn't my first set of coaching certifications because I already had many of them, but it was that first practitioner level set of certifications around NLP, EFT, clinical hypnotherapy, life and success coaching, working with all of the integrative alchemy pieces. I wanted to pursue that because I could feel my people in front of me, my people being my clients, the women that I serve, the people that I serve. And I could sense that there was something like underneath the problem. There was something underneath their words, but I was having a really hard time identifying and helping them move through it. And so these tools, if you're listening to this and you're one of my DKC clients, past or present, like currently or past clients, our work together is the real freaking deal. Like we get to the root of the problem in our 60, 75-minute sessions, however long we're together. And also imagine being able to take that same level of work and impact and be together for 8 hours. It's really, really incredible. And, there's something, I'm going to say this, and this is probably going to ruffle some feathers. A lot of my clients work with a therapist. Like they work with me, they have a coach, they have a therapist. I love that. That is amazing. I am a huge fan of therapy and other forms of healing work. Not knocking that at all. I think it's necessary. It's important. I get excited. I celebrate when I work with people who are also doing our work alongside therapy. Not my words, the words of my clients. I have had many clients say that through just a simple coaching. Now I'm not even talking about breakthrough days anymore, you guys. I'm just talking about coaching, that within like a 75 to 90 minute, a 90-minute is the quantum breakthrough. It's one of the like longer sessions that I have with my clients. And many people who end up doing a one-on-one package or signing up for a group coaching package will start with one 90-minute session. I have had multiple clients say to me that in one 90-minute coaching session, we accomplished more than what they experienced in years of therapy. So again, not knocking therapy at all. It is important. It has its place. I celebrate my clients and loved ones of mine who are actively on their healing journey, and therapy is a big part of that. I absolutely love it. And also, there are certain things within the modalities that I'm trained in that I get to share with my people that allow them to go deeper than maybe they've ever been able to go before. And now I really want to bring you back into some of the core themes and transformations and the 3 breakthrough experiences that I led in the last less than 30 days. And so there is a common theme here, similar to what we were just talking about. And this was also true for me when I got to be on the receiving end of a breakthrough experience. There is a very intentional flow. There is a very meaningful, thought out way that we move through a breakthrough day. And gosh, I say breakthrough day, but it's so much more than that. It's not just a day. There is a prep session that we do before we meet for the breakthrough day. And that's where the portal opens. The magical portal of possibility and transformation begins definitely before your breakthrough day begins. There are things that are strategically woven in. And I should also say that the way that I lead breakthrough days is probably not how a lot of other people lead them. So I'm trained in the actual flow, the dare I say, quote unquote, NLP Breakthrough Day formula. And so there are parts of it where it's these are the things that are absolutely part of anyone, no matter who does it, part of their breakthrough day. And also it is highly, highly, highly customized, extremely intuitive. Your intuition, my intuition. And so where I'm going with this is we were just having this conversation around people coming to me, and I went to my practitioner, Jess, at my in-person immersion where we were learning all of these things together, all of these soon-to-be master practitioners. Everybody comes to the session, the breakthrough day, in this case, the prep session, thinking that they're going to work on one particular thing. And we work on that, but we also do so much more. We uncover what's underneath it. And so some of the common topics that came up were wanting to feel more confident, fear of visibility, wanting to create a different relationship to money, wanting to establish deeper self-trust, wanting to improve their relationships, the relationship that they have with themselves, with their significant other, with their children, their connection to spirit. There's a lot of people who I've been able to work with both through breakthrough days, but also one-on-one coaching, who their number one desire is to establish a deeper relationship to God, to spirit, to their own intuition. And so those are a lot of the themes of what people who are coming to me are wanting: confidence, visibility, money, relationships, cultivating a deeper connection to God, themselves, their intuition, all of those amazing things. And so as we start to uncover what it is that you think you want, where are we going to focus today? We absolutely weave that into the conversation all throughout. That's a common thread. But again, we take it so much deeper. One of my favorite things is helping people get crystal clear on their values. And so depending on the area of life that matters most to you for the sake of your breakthrough day, and or the topics that you want to dive into, there are different things that you value. And I think that this is something that most people overlook, and maybe not even overlook, they just don't know to look at it. But the truth of the matter is the quality of our life, how happy, fulfilled, satisfied, at peace we feel, can really correlate to how in alignment am I with living my value. If you are unhappy, if you are frustrated, if you're experiencing a lot of anger, for me as a 1-3 manifesting generator, that noise I just made, I wish you could see my hands kind of shaking. For me, that's frustration. Frustration for me is a sign that I'm out of alignment. And so a lot of times, if you are not happy with how your life feels or how your business feels or how your marriage feels or how your finances feel or how fill in the blank, whatever area of life, and maybe there's more than one area of life that feels deeply frustrating. You might not realize it consciously, but there's a 99.9% chance that the choices you're making, the actions you're taking, the way that you're living and moving through your life is not actually aligned with your values. And how can you live in alignment with your values if you don't actually know what your values are, right? And so that's one of the big things that we do at the start of this experience together is we help you get crystal clear on your values, what matters to you, in what ways are you motivated, and how can we make sure that at the end of our time together, you're moving in alignment with that. That is so incredibly important. So we're really building up the vision of what it is that you want and why that matters and what are your values around that. This is honestly in the first hour, the first hour to 90 minutes we have together. And the ahas and breakthroughs just in this part alone are absolutely mind blowing. And after we build up the vision of where you're headed, where we're going to go together, how you'll know when these changes have happened, bringing you into that in a way that you can feel it, you can see it, you can hear it, you'll know when it is a done deal, really getting grounded into what we're creating together and then what you're going to go on to create beyond our work together, beyond our breakthrough experience. We then get to dive really deep into some powerful release work. This is where we'll dive really deep into where was the first time you experienced anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, shame. Because what ended up happening is that first time you experienced it, it very likely got lodged into your timeline. And in some ways, maybe for some people more than others, it's wreaking havoc on your day-to-day life experience, your quality of life, and you don't even realize it. This was so powerful for me. The realizations, the insights, the lessons that were coming through, it was so incredible, so intense, and so worth every minute of it. And so we get to weave in time techniques. There are countless different NLP techniques that we'll weave in as well as part of the release work. We can also do hypnosis. We do breath work. There's something really powerful, another one of my favorite modalities known as parts integration. Little FYI, parts integration comes up when there's an internal conflict. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the truth of the matter is we all have infinite parts within us. There are constantly one part of us that wants this and the other part of us that wants the complete opposite. And when we have parts of us that are working against each other, we are expending a lot of unnecessary energy unconsciously fighting ourselves instead of moving forward in the direction that we actually want to go, that we are divinely meant to go. And so there's different forms of parts integration and looking at the things that have been holding us back. And we're able to really quickly, effectively shift, eliminate, transform, depending on what technique we're doing. How we get there is going to look and feel a little bit different. And so again, I hope that you're able to see how, although there is a system and a flow, it is highly, highly intuitive. One of my clients is a huge fan of breath work. And so we used breath work as part of her release work. Someone else physically wasn't able to do breath work. And so we did a longer hypnosis session. We wove in more of those NLP techniques. And it's so incredible working with these different women who have different life experiences, different stories, yet these really incredible, mind-blowing similarities in terms of what was experienced, what they were able to release, and transform, and where we ended up at the end of each of these experiences. These are the words of my clients and also things that I had the ability to experience. One of the number one things is this very real, tangible, felt sense of lightness in their body, like feeling so much lighter in their body, around them, in their thoughts. We're so much more than our physical body. Yes, we have a physical body, but we also have a mental body, an emotional body, an energetic, and a spiritual body. And we can carry unknowingly, unwillingly, unconsciously, we can carry things that are not ours. We can be carrying things from our past. We can be carrying things from generations before us. Often in the release work we do, it is actually really common for generational pieces to come through. And if you believe it and it aligns with your worldview, for me, it does even work around past lives. And so this sense of feeling lighter in their body, lighter in their mind, in their spirit, in their emotional body, spiritually. And with that sense of lightness is this sense of freedom, 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 freedom from the stories, freedom from the old limiting beliefs, freedoms from parts of their past that they maybe did or didn't even know that they were carrying with them, freedom from judgment, freedom from the fears that have been holding them back, feeling more like themselves than ever before. Oh my goodness, I'm thinking about the messages and the voice notes that have been coming through on the other side of all of these breakthrough days. But one of my longtime clients, she is inside of Energy Expansion Academy. And after my experience in November, she reached out to me and she was like, Dani, I think I need to do one of these breakthrough days with you. And I was like, yes, abso-freaking-lutely. I want all of the people I love, all of the women who I care about most to get to have this experience. I literally cannot imagine a greater gift to give yourself than something like this. And when we were done with our experience, she felt amazing immediately. And I celebrated her in that. And I said, but wait, it gets even better. As the next couple of days, weeks, and months go by, that's when you're really going to get to experience the power and the benefit of this. And sure enough, I've received several different voice notes. I have her permission to share some of them, so I need to find a aesthetically pleasing way to share them on my social media and have them live on there so you can go back and listen to it. But she was needing to make some really big decisions in her business. And I mean, like more than one, things that would require investments, things that are going to require her to have big conversations, to collaborate with new people. And when she messaged me and she said, Dani, this is the first time ever that I'm making these decisions purely coming from a place of strategy. There's no mental chatter. There's no second guessing myself. There's no wondering, who am I to do this? Am I actually good enough? The voice of the imposter, right? It's often known as imposter syndrome. Like, who do I think I am? That's one flavor of it. But that was a voice that she was really familiar with, a voice that she would hear day in and day out, specifically in the realm of business. And it just doesn't exist anymore. It is gone. And I was listening to her voice note. I just paraphrased it, hopefully in a powerful enough way. I feel like I cannot do it justice. And I was literally, tears were streaming down my face as I was listening to her voice note. And also in her voice note, she was getting really emotional as she was having this realization of these voices, these thoughts, these stories, these beliefs that I thought were part of who I am, because I literally could not think of a reality or a time in my life when they didn't exist. They're not there anymore. Like, the freedom that I have to move forward and do the things that I actually want to do, that, my friend, is life-changing. It's life-changing. And I want that for you. I want you to have that level of transformation. I want you to be able to experience an entirely new reality in how you relate to yourself and your business and money and your family and the things that matter most to you and your body and your health and your intuition. And I know for a fact with so much confidence and conviction that that is possible for you. Gosh, I'm so incredibly lit up about this work. And I mean, more so right now than ever before. Again, one, because I know how powerful this is, and two, because of the kind of women that I get to work with, the kind of women who feel drawn to the coaching that I do. For the women I work with, strategy is not the issue. You might think it is, but after a few minutes, you're going to realize it's not. Effort isn't the issue. Lack of clarity is also not the issue. There's a shift that's wanting to happen at the level of identity, at the way that you relate to yourself. There is unconscious reprogramming that is begging to happen. There is deep release work around old stories and patterns and conditioning that will really help you uncover and easily and effortlessly identify what is meant for you, how to move forward. And that's exactly what a breakthrough day allows us to do. I've said it before. I said it earlier at the beginning of this podcast. I am not doing away with my programs. I'm not canceling groups and communities that I've built and that I love to lead. I'm not going to take one-on-one coaching off of my offer suite. However, I am going all in on offering breakthrough days because once you're on the other side of this, again, I've been in the seat of the receiver as well as the facilitator. I can't unknow what I know. I can't unfeel what I feel. And the same goes for my clients. Are unfreaking matched. So incredibly powerful. And I'm so grateful that I have this for myself, that I've had this experience, that I've been able to lead now at this point a handful of women, and there's a few more on the docket. And I am like giddy with excitement because I know what's possible. And if this is something that you want for you, I want it for you as well. And so something really fun and exciting is that I'm offering 50% off. This is wild, fam. I'm offering 50% off these breakthrough days. And the thing that I want you to know is that the breakthrough day is so much more than just a day. Like, I feel like calling it a breakthrough day isn't doing it justice. And so you've been hearing me interchangeably. I'm referring to it as a breakthrough experience. But we will meet a day or two before. So we've got our actual full 7 to 8 hour breakthrough day on the calendar. First things first, let's get that on the calendar. And then a day or two before our breakthrough day, we meet for a 90-minute prep session. And again, it's so much more than a prep session. This is our time together where we're co-creating the transformation already. We are setting the intention. We're opening up the portal of what is going to happen in our work together. The ahas, the breakthroughs just during the prep call are next freaking level. So we've got our 90 minutes together to prep. We've got our actual breakthrough day, 7 to 8 hours, either in person or virtually. I've done them both in person and virtual, equally powerful. Just depends on your preference and where you are location-wise and how you want to make it happen. And then after that, you get 2 weeks of unlimited voice and text support for integration, accountability, extra support as things are coming up. And so it's so much more than just one day. You know, the way that this is structured with how much one-on-one time we get together, the amount of coaching and support is equivalent to a 6-month one-on-one coaching package. And we're getting to do it in the span of 2 weeks, really in the span of a full day with the pre and post support as well. So if you are done messing around, if you're done sort of spinning your wheels, bumping up against the same stuff and you're really, truly ready for lasting transformation, this is for you. This is for us. This is for the women like you and I. And it would be the honor of a lifetime, to get to do this with you. And so if this is speaking to you, I want to encourage you to pop off of this right now. Get out of whatever platform you're listening to me on. Open up whatever social media we're connected. I'm really only on Facebook or Instagram, and send me a message. And if you send me a message, you're not committing to anything. But if you're feeling even the slightest bit of curiosity and you're like, there's a resonance, there's a desire, there's something here for me, let me know. And we can have a really sweet exchange in the DMs. We can hop on Zoom if need be, chat through any of your questions. But I have a feeling that if this is landing for you right now, if this is stirring up anything for you, it's because it is for you, the way that I know that it's for me. So I'm really excited to hear from you. And I am also planning on bringing a few of the women who I've done these experiences with onto the podcast and gathering some more of like their actual words of their experience to bring you into this even more. All right, my love, this feels like a perfect place to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to hear from you. Feel free to send me over any questions, anything you want to know more about, whether it's in regards to breakthrough days or anything else that we talk about here on the podcast. And I cannot wait to see you for the next one.